Good day, everyone, and welcome to this training. This is Awel Shagun. Now, I'm going to walk you through how to go about your Pixellab app, the app I told you guys to download, and that's what we'll make use of for our design. So, you need to understand how this app works and everything you need to know about it. And please, apologies first. There will be a kind of noises in my area. Just take it as that because I'm not in a very, very silent area. So, um, whenever you launch your Pixellab app, this is what you find on the page. I mean, the initial page is very fine. I'm using the pro version before, but because I want to make a video, I had to delete it and help you download the normal version on Play Store. So this is what you find on it. So now, very quickly, let's start from here. We have the upper tools and we have the lower tools. We have the upper tools and we have the lower tools. So let's start from here. These are the templates. I don't you see this one, just forget about it. Forget about it. This is not what we came for. So whenever you find this, we just come here. Whenever you want to start your design work, you come to this white page and start. So this is where you get to see your projects. I mean, your past designs you have been doing. Maybe you have saved it as project so that any other day you want to access it, you can easily come here, then you start to edit it. I hope you understand what the project means. So that means every design you do, you must save that project because anytime you may want to make some changes. So that's what the project is all about. So now let's move to this. Before we come to this lower stuff. So let's move to this upper tools. Okay, upper tools. Now here you have this three dotted line. You have everything is. I don't really use this, but why I use this is if I want to recover autosave. So you see your last project and the time. Maybe in case you do not save it, maybe your phone eventually dies, and whenever you get back, you are not able to see the ongoing design. Then just go here to easily locate it. And here, this is where you open up your PHP file. Like I said, you can also come from my project. So this is if you want a full screen, maybe you just want to see how the design looks after finishing the project work. And then you import image from camera. This you want to remove ads done in the tutorials. Yeah, there are also tutorials available on Pixellab, but it's not advisable to watch it since you are seeing it already because it's not well detailed. Though I've not gone through before, but I know it will not be well detailed. And yeah, this is you want to exit the app. So let's just leave that. Now the next thing is this quoted icon. This is just want to create a random post. Just create a random post. You have some quotes already, so they are here. You want to change it. I don't need it as well. Now the next thing is the share icon. This is where you want to save your work, but I prefer using the save icon. So this is save. You want to save as project. So whenever you enter the project name, you'll be able to come here and find the project. Okay, so you want to save as image. This is for PNG is a high quality image, and the quality should be always been ultra. That's when you notice that your design is coming out with a very full quality design, so that at the time of printing there will not be any kind of blurry. So that is it, and this is plus icon. We want to enter text, enter date, sticker shapes, everything. Yeah, let's move to this lower one. This is your layers. This called layers. So because we have not done anything here, then let me just go for a previous project. Yeah, let's say for instance this. Let me say this for instance. Now, this layers work. This is where you get to see everything you have imported in your design. These are the elements you have in the design. So what is layer used for? Layer is just how you want your design to come. Some of these design will be underneath while some will be on top. Now let's take for instance I have this graphic design. Let me pick the design. So this is design and this is graphic. If I should change the color now, yeah, if I change the color to something like red, you notice that this design is on top of the graphic. So if I want this graphic to come on top of design, I will just locate where it is. So this is graphic, Okay, this is not it. Yeah, this is graphic and this is design. So maybe I now want the graphic to come. You will notice that this graphic is under the design, is below the design. So if I want it to come up and appear on top of design, then I will have to just click, long press this dotted signs, then move it up. So when I move it up now, you notice that there's a kind of change here. So when I move it back, this is it. When you move it up, this is it. Okay. So that's what it's used for. So everything here, it all has its own layers. It all has its own layers. So when we are designing, you will understand this better. And this is the grid line. This is called the grid line. This is used for controlling alignments. So grid line, whenever I click on it, how do you control this? How do you set it up? Just come to this settings icon. So when you come to this settings icon, then try to locate that line you want to move. So whenever you move it to this left side, you can move it here, and then you can also create plus. This is addition to the horizontal line, or just delete it. Okay, no, sorry. Yeah, that's it. So if you want to create the one for vertical, this is it. So this is it. Just delete it. So that's what we use alignment, and that's what we use the grid line for. We use it to set up our design so that there will be a kind of nice arrangement. So you can also give it the number of horizontal grid or horizontal guides you want. Maybe I want it 5, I want it 6. So this is just to make sure that everything is well positioned. You can notice that it's more it's plentier than the former. So maybe I have 10 here. You notice this. So that's what we use grid line for. It's very important. This is what we use for our alignment. So this U is just the automatic placement. Whenever you set it at U, then this one will help you to place it automatically at the middle. You can notice that it's not moving to the left or to the right. So that's it. Now this is, if you want to zoom your work, just click on this, then zoom it, give it where you want. Maybe you want a clearer view of what you are doing. So that's what you use the zoom icon for. Then you disable it. This is what you want to undo. Maybe you have been working sometime, you make a mistake, just undo it. Then it will give it back to the former thing. But one thing about Pixel Lab is that whenever you undo, you cannot redo. That is it. So make sure that what you are trying to undo is something that you don't need. Okay. So this is, you want to delete anything, then you delete the object you want to delete. I hope you get that now. So this is you. Okay, we don't need this one now, just leave it. Let's just leave that. So that's all about the um upper tools. Now let's go to the lower tools. So let me just give this a default so that you understand. Maybe you just start your design. This is a text. No, this is a text. And sorry, yeah, this is a text and this is an image. I mean, this is like shape. This is a shape. So whenever you are working, okay, let's start from here. Here now, this is what you have. The second one is your text edit. Your text edit. So whenever you click on any text, you notice a change here. I hope you get it. So that means everything here is what you can use to edit your text. This is edit. If you want to put a text, maybe Awe Oluwasegun. Alright, so yes, you want to delete it. Alright, you want to copy it. The same font, the same size, the same everything, the same color. That's copy, duplicate. Then maybe we have in case we have 2 or 3 elements, then you can easily move this to the back or to the front. So whenever I move it to the back now, you notice it at the back. Whenever I click on move to the front, you notice it at the front. So that's what it's used for. Then this is positioning. This is manual positioning. You can easily move this for fast position, but maybe you just want to move it slowly. Then this is where you can set the effect. Maybe you just want it to be moving small, then this is how you do it. Bottom, down, up, right and left. Relative position. Now relative position is used for alignment. So for center align, you can, if you should understand this, you should understand all this, you will notice that you have left to the edge, you have to the top edge, you have to the center, you have to the middle, you have to the right edge, you have to the bottom edge. So that's the relative position. It will help you place it automatically to where it starts and where it ends. Size, this is where you get to increase your size. You can also increase your size from here, or maybe you just want it a numbered size. Maybe you want it at 80, then you come here to increase the size. This is padding. Padding, you can use this whenever you are doing a kind of italics in some fonts. So while you're doing a kind of italics on fonts, it will cut the last page. Maybe this end, it will not be completed. So what you just have to do is that you increase the right padding so that you'll be able to see the full version of it. I hope you get me. So if you notice this A now, you can see that there's a kind of cut in it. So that means you have to adjust it using padding. Padding. Now color. This is where you get to change the color. You get to change the color. Just like I taught you in the principles of design, that you have to make sure that your color is clearer on your background. So this is where you get to change color. This is the background. Okay, maybe you just want to select the color. Click on this plus icon. We are still going to work on color because it's a very technical aspect. So this is where this is our color wheel. This is our color wheel. So whenever you put it here, you know this is a color green, this color blue. So let's give it color red. Now this is the lightness. This is lightness. Just notice the change here. Notice the change here. Notice the change here. So any color that appears, that's what will display on your element. So now this is the lightness and this is the darkness. This is darkness. If you want it to be black, if you want it to be very dark, and this is the opacity, the clarity, how you want it to appear very, very clear. Okay. So that is what we use color for. Gradient too, we are going to work on this. Gradient is just if you want two or more colors to appear on a single element. So you can make as much as 10 to 15 colors here. Just be clicking on the plus icon, but it's not that matured because you don't need it. What you just need is a kind of fused back fused color. So whenever you have something like this, you have it at the top, and whenever you have something like this, you have it at the bottom. Okay, so this is left to right, this is top to bottom, this is the left angle to the right angle, this is the center from the middle to the edges, and this is just a kind of circular stuff, and left to right. So that's what we use gradients for. So you can also try to change your color. Maybe I want only aware ol to be color black, and then I want the rest to be color red. So that's how you use this selection for. Texture texture just if you want a kind of appearance on your element. So maybe this is the kind of appearance I want. You notice that this wood, that background I use, is appearing on this design. Maybe because of the font I use, but let's leave that for now. Whenever we have something to do on it, I'll make a video. So opacity, this is the clarity. Opacity. So we don't need to reduce the opacity of a text. Just make sure it's at 100. This is if you want to rotate it. You can also make use of a manual rotation from this middle. So that's rotation. This is mask. If you want to cut your design, or you want to make a kind of effect on it. So that's what we use mask to do. So this is fonts. Now these are the available fonts on Pixellab. We have a lot of fonts, but all these fonts are not good for your design work. So it's very better that you get to download your font. So whenever you have your own font, just come to my font, then you see your font here, the fonts you have downloaded. So whenever you select on it, then it will help you change it. So this is style. Maybe you want to bold, you want it to, okay, let me select a different font. Now this is, you want it to be bold. You notice that this thing is bold, and then you want to underline on italics. You want it to be slant, and you want to underline. So that's what we use this for. And this is curve. You want your text to be curved. This is used for a kind of badge design. So this is you want to have a background to it. So you can also set this using the right padding, left padding, top padding, and bottom padding. So you can give it a plain color or a gradient color for your background, and also you can give it a radius. You notice something here now. So that's about that. What else? We stopped at style, curve, background. Okay, alignment. Now this is alignment, automatic alignment. Maybe you want, I have a text as Awoluwasegun is a good boy. Now if you come to alignment, this center alignment, you notice that everything is at the middle. If you click on left alignment, you notice that everything rests to the left edge, and right alignment, everything rests to the right edge. So that's what we use alignment to do. And now spacing, this is line spacing, how you want a kind of separation in your text, and even if you want it as words, yeah, this is how you get to give it spacing. Line spacing as well, from top to bottom, how you want everything to be spaced. Now this is stroke. You want to add stroke to your design. Stroke, you can give it any color. You can even give it the current color of stroke. So this is the width, the thickness of your stroke. So that is stroke. And shadow. Yeah, you can also add shadow to your design. So this is a black color, this is opacity of the shadow, and this is the blur radius. So you give it a blur radius, not too much. I think that would be good to go. And then you can now set it using your offset of x and offset of y. So this is what we use mostly in mockups. You understand? So that is shadow. Now the next thing is inner shadow. Maybe you want to create a kind of shadow inside the text. That one was outside. This one will now be inside. So that is inner shadow. What else? Emboss. Now emboss. That's one thing in Pixellab. I don't know. It doesn't start this way. You notice that you kind of can see a kind of fading in the text. So maybe you should just leave that for that. Let's leave that for now. So what do you use emboss for? Let me see if I can get to a place where it will stop doing this. I don't want this video to be long. Okay, yeah. So what do we use? Let me just change this color. Now, what do we use emboss to do? We use emboss to make a text beautification, mostly in text effects. In text effects. So let's do that for now. Now the next thing is perspective. Now perspective is used to create a kind of mock-up. Yeah, it's basically used in mock-ups. So to place your mock-up manually. Now if we enable it now, I can just move it this way. So that's what we use perspective. Perspective is a very, very broad tool to be used. So you can notice a kind of effect in the text. The next thing is 3D rotate. There's 3D rotate. And now we have the 3D text. So if you use the 3D text now, these ones are old. These ones are old elements. So we don't use it anymore. We use it in mockup. Yeah, we use it in mockup. And another thing is 3D shadow. Let's do that for that. Reflection, if you want a kind of reflection, can you see a kind of reflection here? So that's it. We don't use this as well. We don't use this. So that is all about text. Can make use of lots of tools on your text. So let me delete it and let's move on to the next page. So this is for shape and images. Anything you import, this is where you get to edit it. So we have stickers. Now stickers, this is where I have my shadow. So whenever you just want to use your shadow, just tap on the screen and then you find your shadow here. Yeah, you find the shadow here. You can also change the color to anyone you want. So that's about that. Now if you want to import from your gallery, you want to import from your gallery. So let's say for instance I import this image. Alright, if I import this image, okay, so if I import this image now, I can then work on it. Maybe I just want this as a design, then I have all my text, blah 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 blah, everything here. So that's that. Okay, now let's now make, okay, no, don't, let's go there. Now if you want to draw, yeah, if you want to draw, so if you want to draw, can also draw, increase the pen size, the smoothness as well. I hope you get that now. So that's what drawing is all about. You don't use this as well. Shape. Now, if you want to import your shape, there are a lot of shapes on Pixellab. These are the shapes, but you can create yours as well. So these are the available shapes. So just try to select the one you want. You basically, we mostly use this circle shape, this and this square shape. So this is where you get to edit your shape as well. This is radius. You can see this is radius. This is opacity of the shape, the clarity I mean. And the next thing is color. You want to give it another color or gradient. You want to create a gradient color. This is stroke wide. Maybe you want to give it a stroke. This is the opacity of the stroke and also the color of the stroke. So this is the gradient color of the stroke as well, and the blur radius of the shape. So that is that about that. Bezier, Bezier. So let's leave this. These are technical terms. We don't have to go there for now. Arrow, yeah, you can also draw your arrow. You want to, so maybe you just want to describe something. You can just draw an arrow for people to know what you're trying to pass across. Now let's come to our edit. So whenever I click, this is just the everything you can do. So whenever I select an image, you notice that all these things change. Just like we have it in text, we also have it in images. So this is where you get to delete, you get to crop. So this is crop. What does crop mean? Maybe you want to cut some part. You want to just, what crop mean? That's not something to explain for now. So that's crop. This is copy. We want to duplicate the image to appear in another time. This is, if you want to move it to front to back, just as I explained in the layers. This is positioning, just as I explained. So everything is just like the same thing as the text editing. So let me just go to other things we have that is not that common. Let me check. Yeah, color filter. Color filter here, you can edit your image using color filter. Edit your image using color. This is hue. You get to change the color here, the color of the image. This is saturation. Saturation. So this is where we can also edit your color. You can also edit your image here. This is saturation, black and white. This is the brightness. This is the brightness, and this is the contrast. So you can also work on this for image edits. That's color filter. Now stroke, just as in the case of text. So you can also add stroke. Eraser. Now maybe you just want to erase some parts. You can do it here. This is the size of the eraser. This is the blurriness of the eraser. So that's what we use eraser to do. The next thing is mask. Mask, maybe you want to cut out some parts. So this one is also it's also very wide to use, but in the long run you will understand very well. This, you want to erase a color. Maybe I want to erase this color red and make the background color to appear. You notice that there's a kind of white because of the background color, so that's why white is appearing. If I should change it to black, black will appear whenever I remove that color red. So that is for erasing of color. Now if you want to rotate it, just like I explained in text usage, 3D shape. 3D shape, just as in the text, 3D rotate and 3D shape as well. This is shadow. We want to add shadow as well, inner shadow, and also we want to emboss. So come on, we think we are getting closer. Let me just round up with this. So that is all we have um about the image edit. So let's move to the background. So this is the background. So we just want to add from gallery. I want to add a fixed background from gallery. So let's say I'm adding this background, I'm making it one by one. So it cannot be moved to become a background, and it will not even appear under the layers. So I don't, well, anyhow, you can also use it. You can import from image, so as some images as well that are available on Pixel, but these are just useless. Let me call it that term. You don't need it. You don't need it. So yeah, you can also give it a color. You can also give it a plain color background. So another thing is, well, you can also give it a transparent color. Um, this is where you get to set up your size, your design size. So this is one by one, and this is what 90% of designers use. Although it depends, that's what almost 90% of flyers need. one by one. So maybe you are making it a 6 by 8. 6 by 8 is available. So 6 by 8 too is there. So let's move to the last part. This is where you get to edit your background. You see, anything here is the editing to this one. Just like you have it as color filter for image. So whenever I click on this now, you can add vignette. So you can also add noise. Noise look like a paper type. You can also add stripes. See all these ones, they are not useful, I must confess. So you can, yeah, this one you can use its brightness. You can use the contrast just as we have in case of color filter. And then you can use for hue to change the color. If you don't want it as the original pink color, you can just change it to blue or another color. And then you can also increase or reduce the saturation. So that is all we have about Pixellab. That is all. It's not hard. So whenever you start to design, that's when you get to understand more about this thing. Because if I should just keep explaining this way, then without practicing or without implementing, you notice that it will be so hard for you. So what you just have to do is, okay, just pick out some things, pick out some projects, work on it, and you are very good to go. So I hope this is well explained. This is well explained because that's why I have to make it as long as 26 minutes. I planned on using 20 minutes, but what's the essence of passing the message across without the person knowing it or understanding it? So that's why I have to just give it my time. So this is all we have, but let me just check if there's anything I've not explained. If there's anything I've not explained, is there any other thing? I've come to text, I've come to image, to the background, and to the editing. So that is all we have about Pixellab. I hope with these few points I've been able to convince you. Alright guys, so we shall meet in the next module. That's when I'll be teaching you everything you need to know to set up your Pixellab app. That is right from the font and all other things. Alright. Now if you want to save your work, just come here. Maybe you are done with everything, just as I have it this way. Now I'm done with this. I'm right. Okay. So I just have to save it here. Save as project first. Give it a project name so that whenever you are coming back next time, you'll be able to come and edit it. And then after saving as project, then save as image. Whenever you're saving as image, I prefer to save as PNG for higher quality, but you can also choose to save as JPG. And also come here, save as ultra. So whenever it comes out, you notice you're having something like 5 MB, 6 MB. So that's all about that. Alright guys, meet you in the next training.